More everyday and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ann-Adeva and I am Black. So there's this conversation that I realized has been going on for a long time. I think it's also been going on for longer than I noticed that it's been going on. But there's this debate about whether you should be a baddie or a classy. I recently watched a video of this lady talking about how the world doesn't make space for the classy black woman because the world never wanted the black woman to be seen as classy, luxurious, and relaxed. And I can see where all of these come from, but I want to talk about it from my own perspective and my own experience when it comes to this conversation. Even when you see, for example, the kinds of black women that there are in the world, it's like you have to be one or the other. You can't be both of them. You can't be classy or a baddie or be like young MA or be like sexy red. You can only be one person. Like once you decide that I'm going to be an earthy girl and that's my persona, you cannot be the other thing. Like you have to only be one person. And I feel like that's where the debate is sticking to for me, because it's like pick a side. I feel like that's the message of the debate or the conversation. It's more like pick a side. And even when you start to analyze like this baddie life and this the examples of the baddies, for example, if you look at the baddies, the TV show, or even Love and Hip Hop, that's why I stopped watching it, by the way. I stopped watching like a lot of reality shows and trash TV shows because I feel like the more we watch, the more attention we give to it, and the more that's the only story that is being told. But in Namibia and South Africa, for example, we grew up with a lot of African American media influence. Like we grew up watching a lot of African American shows. So when even not the shows, just like the music, the movies, the models, like the African American art as an industry, we grew up exposed to that a lot. But when I was growing up, it was more like Tupac, B.I.G. Of course, we also listened to people like The Temptations or Janet Jackson or who else? Aretha Franklin and all those greats. But it was more like, this is the music, you know. In the music, you can be anything, that's okay. But when it came to like real life and how black people were portrayed in the TV shows, it was more like ghetto, ratchet, raunchy. It wasn't really it's only when I started growing up and I started for TV shows on my own to watch that were like based on African American families and cultures, then I was like, oh, there's like a plethora of black people. Like it's not just one or the other. And like even in Namibia growing up, it's like we had to be orderly, you had to be like chic, you had to be a well put together person. Like you couldn't be dressed like a baddie or whatever, because also it's like deeply rooted in Christian values, because I wouldn't say African values, because African values don't actually recognize nudity as sexual. Our appearance, it was like you have to be clean, you have to be put together, you have to be orderly. I remember even at school they were like prize giving awards for like the neatest girl, the neatest boy, the cleanest boy, the cleanest girl. So that's how extreme it was that your appearance was neat and orderly. And also because we grew up like in the formal school system where you have school uniforms, you have school rules on your appearance, and many people just like adopt this even after school is over. Like they go into high school or go to work or whatever, and they still have like the same attitude. So an example of this is like when the baddies went to South Africa and they fought on TV, and you can see the reaction of the people who were called to come and perform for them, because there was a traditional group that was like hired to come and do like a welcoming performance to South Africa for them. This is also really common there. So they were just like, yo, this is so embarrassing, like what's going on, like, you know. And even that reaction was like telling me a lot, because I was like, this is what the world wants. The world wants to see us embarrass ourselves like that. And being a baddie is more than just the aesthetic. I feel like it's also the lifestyle that it promotes. It promotes a lot of like the lifestyle of like, don't work hard for yourself. You don't really need financial independence, because you can just get a guy that's going to buy you all these things, or you can just marry a guy who's going to like take care of your lifestyle and all that stuff. And when you become a classy woman, for instance, you learn to be independent. That's why I said on my story, like I started following a lot of black women that became successful, and like I started reading on stories of like Michelle Obama, or when I was younger, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey actually really inspired me a lot, because she also because of her story of how good she was in school and all the opportunities that she got because she was so good in school. Like, I was like, okay, I have to be good in school because there's like a lot that can come from it. It's not just the grades. I can actually make a life for myself just by being good at this. When you read these people's books or their biographies or whatever, they talk a lot about being independent and having your own things. They talk a lot about making a secure life for yourself, a secure life for your potential kids, being like financially savvy, having self-esteem, focusing on your self-image, focusing on your self-worth, doing the shadow work. They talk about a lot of those things, like about you growing as a whole, like taking care of your health, taking care of your finances, taking care of your appearance as well, because people also treat you the way that you look, which is kind of sad, but I get it. I understand. When it comes to being a baddie, I feel like the lifestyle that the baddie lifestyle promotes is quite dangerous, because if you rely on a man that's always gonna come and buy you stuff, right? One day the man won't be there. And also with this baddie lifestyle, it's always aimed at younger girls. So when you grow up, when you're like too old and nobody wants you anymore because you're too old now, they always want the youngest one or the, you know, the most popping one. Then what happens? You become Black China, right? You come back, you convert, you become Christian. Also, who else talks about this? Polly also talks about this a lot on her YouTube channel. She talks a lot about how, like, yes, you get money, you get your rent paid, you get all these things from these guys, but when you grow up, then what? Like, you're gonna grow up and this guy's not gonna be interested in you anymore. He's going to replace you with the next hot girl, and then what's gonna become of your life? So I feel like a lot of times we don't really consider those things when we are trying to promote the baddie lifestyle. Yes, okay, it's good, you're gonna get princess treatment, you're going to be in your feminine era and whatever, but you know what those girls are doing who are telling you this feminine era and being your femininity and your divinity and whatever? They're just trying to sell you an ebook. They're just trying to sell you an ebook. They're just trying to sell you a one-on-one coaching course on how to be a woman. They just want to sell you something, okay? They want to promote their eye mask or their face mask or their skincare line or whatever it is. They just want to sell you something, and you are thinking, oh my gosh, she's trying to help me be a better woman. No, she's not. One of the people that I can genuinely say I feel like is helping in that divine femininity stuff is that she does like hacks, affordable hacks on like hygiene as a woman, but she didn't stop with hygiene. She also talks about like your personal appearance, how to dress like clean and stuff like that. And I get it, it's nice, but I also feel like the classy woman sometimes is rooted in a lot of like capitalism and still the idea of Black women wanting to, not Black women, but Black people wanting to seem equal to white people. Sometimes, especially when I was growing up, I would see this, you know, like sometimes the person grew up in the hood with you guys, right? They become rich, they maybe started working at a bank, whatever. Now they have money, they move to a different location, they come back, they act quite white, okay? They don't act like a Black person who just got money. They start acting literally white, okay? They start doing activities that they never used to do. They start hiking, they start running, they start, and not to say that these activities are reserved for white people, but I hope you try to get the gist of what I'm trying to explain. Like a lot of people see align success with, a lot of Black people align success with whiteness. Black excellence is just a mirror of whiteness. It's not really like Black people being successful at who they are. And I feel like in as much as we want to make the baddie connotation negative, these people also are just enjoying the freedom that they've been granted. A lot of people are like our generation, if I can say it like that, or let me say each Black person from 18 to 30 years old, they are just enjoying their freedom. They are like the first free person in their generation, probably. Like for me, I was a born free, right? So my country had gotten independence 7 years before I was born. So when I was born, the country had only been independent for 7 years. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like the freedom that I was afforded, because now I was able to go to any school, I was able to go to any hospital, I was able to go to anywhere. Because now my country is independent, we got to mix and mingle. I got to go to school with white kids that I would never see in real life if I wasn't born at the time that I was born. Do you get what I mean? I get to date whoever I want to date. I get to marry whoever I want to marry. So it's not like back then in the time of our parents where they had limited options. And also Kanye Bao touched on this, that Black people compare their children to each other. And also the things that she said, please go watch this interview if you haven't watched it. I watched it like, I think 3 times. And the second time, I started to really read between the lines and understand the deeper message behind her answers during the interview. But one of the things she said was like, Black people compare our kids, and we compare our kids for the wrong things. We compare our kids like whose stoop is shinier than the other person's stoop, whose house is cleaner than the other person's house. And those are things that genuinely, once kids grow up, don't really matter. Like, I don't know, if you come live in the West, if you come live in Europe, people don't know how to clean, people don't know how to cook, but they have jobs, they get paid well, they make like 50 to 60,000 euros a year, but they don't know how to clean, cook, iron, wash laundry. They don't know. They hire people, or they call their mom to do it, or they TikTok it or whatever. Many people don't have that experience of cleaning and cooking and stuff because they were busy learning other skills that were actually important for their survival in adulthood. Like, you can always outsource these things that we were being focused on learning when we were growing up, but it was like we were focused on the wrong things. We focus on the wrong things. And in essence, this success and this you comparing your kids to other kids is because you want to be the best Black person, to be the most acceptable to white people. You want to look hygienic and clean and put together and classy because you don't want Black people to make that stereotype of you that Black people are dirty, unhygienic, unkept, right? Because this was the propaganda that was used against us for so many years. Okay? Do you get where I'm going with this? So I feel like now Black people are just enjoying the freedom that they've been afforded. I feel like even when I look at artists like Willow Smith, oh my gosh, I love Willow Smith. But if you look at Willow Smith, for example, she's really free. She doesn't care. She's just herself. Even if you look at Solange Knowles, she still hangs out with like JT from the City Girls. She still hangs out with her sister. Beyonce still makes songs with Nicki Minaj or Megan Thee Stallion. Like, they're just enjoying themselves. Even SZA makes songs with Megan Thee Stallion, whatever. She's acting alongside Issa Rae, Kiki Palmer. These, like, it's people from different, what did the other guy call it? Etropes or editropes? I don't know. Different types of Black girls. And it's like another Black girl also said on TikTok that if I decide to twerk and put it on social media, that is a reflection of me. That is not a reflection of you as the next Black girl watching my video of me twerking on social media. Do you get what I mean? Because I feel like we internalize a lot of what the other Black person does because that's also how we were raised. Like, you know, our people need to always look good in public. Like, we shouldn't embarrass or like bring shame to who we are as a people. But why don't other social or racial groups get the same treatment? They are treated as individual people with individual interests and an individual perception or appearance. But when it's Black people, if you do something, it means all Black people do that thing. And the sooner we stop treating it that way, the sooner it will be like an individual perception. And those stereotypes are going to keep being promoted the more that we also act like we are one person. Like, yes, we are African, but we also do things very differently. Yeah. In the same breath, when it comes to us having this collective image, if you look at, for instance, Monique had said in an interview one time that she doesn't like when Black women are outside in pajamas and bonnets and things. We cannot be seen that way. It doesn't look nice. Valid. That's her point of view. But why doesn't that point of view limit to only herself? Why does she feel the need to go on social media and say, hey, announcement to all Black women, please don't wear bonnets in public? Why? Because you think that Black woman wearing a bonnet is a reflection of you. The same way that the people were angry about that black statue because they were like, no, that Black woman is like, she's making us all look bad. No, she's not. She looks like that because she looks like that. And there are also Black women who do look like that. The same way that people were saying, oh my gosh, the Michael B. Jordan's love interest in Sinners was the wrong choice because that doesn't look like the kind of Black girl he would be into. Sana, we are doing this to ourselves. At the end of the day, we're doing this to ourselves. We cannot be helped because why is that a reflection of all Black women if we are not the same? Like, we are just doing things the way that we want to do it. Serena Williams, she's really a classy babe at heart, but she also still does the crip walk. She still dresses however she wants to dress. She still appears in music videos with Beyonce. It's like you can be multifaceted, and she's still an amazing sportswoman. She's still an amazing sportswoman, a lovely entrepreneur, Like, she's into skincare, she does interviews, you know, she eats hot wings online. Come on, man. You can be all those things and still be enough as a Black woman. You don't have to be one kind of person. Like, if you decide you want to dress like Erica Badu tomorrow and like an emo girl the next day, you are allowed to do that. You don't have to be like one solid thing just to appease to the masses. Even policing each other's appearance or the things that we do as a people, it's also the same reason why I genuinely didn't want to tell people that I got married, because I knew that the comments of, oh my gosh, you are married and you are doing this and that, I knew those comments were coming, and it hasn't really been coming because I also feel like people are scared of me, which is also okay. I love the fact that people are scared of me, but I noticed also when I went out, sometimes people will comment like, oh, where's your wedding ring or whatever. Like, someone commented once like, where's my wedding ring? And I was like, nobody ever asked my husband where is his wedding ring when he walks around without a wedding ring, you know? Even someone went on my social media and they were like, oh my gosh, you don't look married. Like, on your page, like, one would never guess that you're married. And I'm like, what do married women look like? What do they look like? And number two, why doesn't anyone say that about my husband's social media? My husband like barely posts me. He'll post me like once every now and then. The last time he posted me was for Christmas, right? He posted me last for Christmas, and that was when I was putting on like the clothes that he bought me. So then he posted me in the clothes that he bought me. That was the last time that he posted me. But when I don't post him, the last time I posted him, I post him all the time, or I post his voice on my TikTok. Like, I will record myself and he's talking on in the background. But like, the standards are so different always when it even comes to gender, or just how you should look as a Black woman. Like, even if you have kids, it's like, oh, you shouldn't behave this way because you have kids. Like, we're policing each other because we're trying to be acceptable to a world that will never accept us, unfortunately. And I feel like the sooner we wake up to that reality, the sooner we can release ourselves and each other and just exist in a way that is not monolithic, because we are really not monolithic people. We are diverse. That's why we can get along with each other no matter what part of the world we are from. Like, I can meet someone from the Dominican Republic, I can meet an Afro-Latina person, I can meet someone from Jamaica, and we will instantly just get along. And the next question you must ask yourself is, who is benefiting from me conforming? Who is benefiting from me always looking presentable? Who is benefiting from me trying to constantly chase a version of myself that I don't even really want to attain? The sooner you start asking those questions, the sooner you will start to also release yourself from shackles that you might have put on yourself that you never knew you were doing. We need to stop asking for permission to exist. Our Blackness is not monolithic, it is versatile, and it doesn't have to be palatable. You can be who you want to be, and don't be scared about what people are going to think about you, because at the end of the day, we are the ones who need to accept ourselves first if we want to gain acceptance from anybody else. Whether you're classy, whether you're a baddie, whether you're earthy, whether you're emo, the goal at the end of the day is self-actualization and self-realization. Let's stop performing for a gaze and start embracing our Blackness as something that is unapologetic, fluid, and always evolving. Thank you so much for watching. Let's continue the conversation in the comments. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to comment. If you're listening on Spotify, don't forget to comment and give us 5 stars. With that being said, bly veilig, raak wees en pas jou op. Ciao.